not nothing, but I'm the coordinator of iBOL. So I'm the coordinator of the barcoding initiative of Austria. And my home institution is the Natural History Museum in Vienna. Personally, I'm mainly interested in myriapods and primarily wingless insects, but since I'm not allowed to do science anymore, it doesn't matter anymore. And my geographical focus is, by the way, not Austria. Austria is a geographical focus of iBOL. I come from phylogenomics and phylogenetics, so arthropod phylogeny, and did there some small side projects like proturans, glomerates, and now as a coordinator also in some other groups. As what was done already in Austria, you see that the number of species is quite high in comparison to the sequences if you compare it with other nations. And the main reason is that the main focus of iBOL is to build up the reference database. So actually I tried to avoid to have too many applied projects up till now, because if you tell politicians, yeah, there are many applications, everybody wants to have the applications, nobody wants to pay the reference database. So we have, like in all other countries, mainly arthropods, and if you look more closely, it's mainly Lepidoptera. This is mainly the data of Peter Huemer. I hope that in the near future the numbers will rise fast. And what can be said about iBOL? iBOL was meant to become a project and ended up in being an initiative. Why? Because what we wanted, it was a overall funding of building up the reference database. And what we got is we got a fund for the coordination, so my position is funded. And what I have to do mainly is to look for further funds for building or for generating the data. So our current funding is about 2 million euro, which is approximately, I think, 3 million Canadian dollars, because we had the luck that one big project was funded afterwards. Currently, about 30 scientists are involved in funded projects, and we have 150 interested scientists. And maybe that's my main message is what I am the coordinator of plenty of people who are not funded. So my main issue is to get personnel costs. I think the sequencing costs are not really that problematic because plenty of these 150 people have no permanent positions, like myself, for example. And I think that's maybe the main thing, at least where I have my problems. Future prospects uncertain. I do not really believe that after 2020 the coordination will be funded in the way it is funded now. Maybe there will be different way of funding for coordination, but maybe it's not even that important because there will be a number of parallel projects which work on barcoding in different organismal groups. So this is a coordination project. We have 600,000 euro, and the main goals are fundraising and quality control and data provision to BOLD, for example, but likewise skill development and public relation. And the funny thing is we received plenty of money from our ministry to have coordination, so this is really quite high amount of money, but we are not allowed to produce data. What, however, we are allowed to do is to make workshops and make events like BioBlitz events. So in a turnaround, we can also produce at least some data from this money too. But actually, it was meant just to give the money for coordinational tasks, which is quite a high amount of money. What we were happy to get is a barcoding pipeline project on Austrian universities, which was quite unexpected, because this was a call for infrastructure for universities, collaborative infrastructures. Usually, you have this big facilities like telescope or something like this is funded by such calls. And that project, the lead is made by the University of Graz, and all but one university in Austria where their biology is taught takes part in this collaborative initiative, or in this collaborative project. And it was €1 million that we received for generating barcodes in fungi, plants, and various animal groups, mainly arthropods, but likewise vertebrates. So what we expect, and this is a low expectation, is about 5,000 species from this project, and the main expectation is that this project will lead to many smaller projects on Austrian universities, because you have at least the technician is already paid by the money of this project. And the third project I want just briefly to mention is this was a trial to put in the 7 federal state museums into the iBOL initiative. It was a project that we put into, it's called, I think, regional development. It's a regional development plan. It is partly EU, funded by the EU, and partly by Austria. And it was meant to get 1,000 insect species, so DNA barcodes of 1,000 insect species, and it was called DIGBINS, which is the acronym for Digitale Bestimmung von Insekten, and I just took it because I liked its second meaning. But this fund was unfortunately, we didn't get it in the first trial, and we had the problem that we were too scientific for the fund. So we were put out before even coming into the election, because we were too scientific, which was a little bit strange to me, because usually I have always the problem of getting reference database. Building up reference database into scientific funding schemes. Okay, coming to the SWOT analysis, we have a big strength, and this is a multitude of potential partners and researchers, which is also maybe our weakness, because there is a big gap between the original expectations. This is overall funding, like you see here, and what we got is we have to make parallel projects and search for funds for all these parallel projects. The main threat, I think, is endangered continuity, but maybe this is mainly for the coordination, not for the barcoding initiative general, because I think now we have that many institutions where already barcoding projects are going on, that this will go on even if the coordination is not funded anymore. What might be additional opportunities, I would like to, I already proposed people from Croatia whether they want to be associate members, and they agreed that it would be highly interesting, and maybe also other countries of our eastern neighbors are interested, like Hungary we have connections to plenty of working groups in Eastern Europe. Maybe also we can try to get some involvement of Russia, which would be nice at least also on the card, because it makes this big white to give color to the big white Russia. Yeah. Okay, that's everything from my point. Thanks.